Hello everyone! We're here to start off with the rerun banner of Childe to see how we want to be building Childe, so let's not waste any time and get started. This is a complicated video if you do not understand how Childe works, so I'm going to explain some things you need to be aware of for these calculations and might be good for you to know as a Childe main if you did not know this before. 1. My sword stance auto attack is averaged between 3 autos and 5 autos, as 3 autos charge attack and 5 auto charge attack with jump cancels are the most optimal way of doing the most damage with Childe according to Childe main's Discord and also from Braxophone. Master of Weaponry does not increase his elemental skill normal attack. Every character has 3 talents that can be increased. This is programmed specifically only on the first talent, which is based on your normal attack, which is your bow stance. So your sword stance is actually not increased by Childe's passive. 3. Rust's passive does affect Childe's sword stance, auto attack, and charge attack. On the Genshin calculator, the description states that it decreases aimed shot damage by 10%. However, I have confirmed with other people that this also includes Childe's melee stance, charge attack as well, and the calculator seems to be including it in this calculation as well. I hope the description is updated in the game. I do not have a Rust to check this with. 4. Stringless's passive does not increase sword stance's damage. If you take a look at the description of Childe's skill, it states that Riptide damage is considered elemental skill damage, which leads me to believe that the autos of Raging Tide do not count as elemental skill. I have confirmed this with the calculator that only the Riptides themselves increase if I change weapons to stringless with the same base attack. 5. My calculations for Elemental Mastery is based on the wiki. I have confirmed that the calculator seems to be using this formula and not the estimated damage formula given from Reddit, as I'm getting the same numbers as the calculator with this one. That should be all of the information you will need to know about my Childe calculation. I will be focusing on the differences between Stringless, Rust, 4-piece Heart of Death, and 2-piece Heart and 2-piece Noblesse, as those are the main kits of what you want to be using for Childe according to Childe main Discord. We can now start the video. As always, level 8 talents, level 80 Ascended Childe, and for simplicity, I am only focusing on melee stance and no Riptides. Artifacts are subject to change, but the general artifacts for calculation are these, and the only change I will be doing is with sands from attack percent to elemental mastery and vice versa, and the artifact sets themselves. I simplified the tables to make it easier to look at for the video. Crit damage and rates are already included. You can take a look at the specific tables in the Excel sheet I will provide down below. Currently, we will be using attack percent for sands and 4-piece Heart of Death set. I don't think a lot of people understand the massive damage increase you get from 4-piece. If we take a look at Rust 2-piece versus 4-piece, it goes up about 500 for auto attack and 650 for charge attacks. And for Stringless, it's about 450 in autos and 500 in charge attacks. Even if your burst does not increase, that's a huge damage increase as a lot of your damage is going to be from your autos and charge attacks. Although it looks like Stringless looks mediocre in damage compared to Rust, we have to be taking a look at the vaporized damage. Stringless will give you a 2.59 multiplier, while Rust is just 2 since it has no elemental mastery. Hence, we get something like this. To answer some of your questions on the strain damages, Rust's passive increased normal attack by 40%, giving it an additive damage bonus on the damage multiplier, which significantly makes the auto attack stronger, and charge attack is reduced by 10%, which is why charge attack is less than Stringless, while Stringless burst is significantly higher. However, take into account how often you will be doing Vaporize and its bursts. You will be doing normal attack the majority of the time, so Rust is going to be better in this attack percent sands and 4-piece Heart of Death set. What if we change sands with elemental mastery instead? I would highly not recommend it. For sword stance mode, you lose a significant amount of damage because Childe needs that extra attack percent to increase his damage. If we take a look at Vaporize, Rust does more burst damage, but overall the set is just worse. However, if you're switching sands with elemental mastery, you're most likely going to be using a burst composition. So let's take a look at 2-piece Noblesse set and 2-piece Heart of Death set with this instead. When we switch the set, what you will notice is that for Rust, it is significantly more powerful in the burst. However, for Stringless, it is actually worse than your 4-piece Heart of Death set. Hence, let's switch our sands back to attack percent to see how much of a change it would be while having 2-piece Noblesse still out there. What we can see is that Stringless is significantly better for its burst, but for Rust, it boosted the burst up just by a little bit. So what is the verdict? If you're using Childe as a main DPS, stick with a 4-piece Heart of Death with attack percent sand. If you're using Childe as only a sub DPS for only vaporized bursts, then go with Stringless 2-piece Noblesse and 2-piece Heart of Death set with attack percent sands. I hope this was helpful for you. If it did, please leave a like and consider donating as it does help the channel out. And if you haven't joined our Discord, make sure to do so, and I will see you all in the next video.